Okay, I'd like to explain some of my favorite cakes that I've made through the years. My first cake is a kiss cake. It was for my friend's son's 30th birthday. He was a giant Kiss fan, and he really loved it. It was a lot of hard work. I hand carved out the faces from the fondant, and very happy with the way it came out. The second cake I like to describe is a arm in a cast. I actually made this for a orthopedic surgeon's 30th birthday. It was actually my first attempt to work with fondant, and it came out very nice. Okay, this cake means a lot to me. I actually made this cake while I was going through chemo, and I brought it into my oncologist's office, and they served it while we were there, myself and the other patients, getting our treatments, and it was well received, and it's very near and dear to my heart. Okay, this cake was made for our 11th birthday for one of my friends. His son's into DJing, and it's actually 2 CD decks and a mixing board that I made out of cereal treats, and it was sitting on top of a full sheet cake, and it was a nice piece of work. This cake I made for a Rutgers graduate, and that's was two tiers. Bottom tier was Devil's Food Cake with chocolate mousse, and the middle tier was carrot cake with cream cheese icing, and then the 2 books were cereal treats with the fondant R on top, and it was a big hit at the party. This is a wedding cake. This is my first attempt at a wedding cake. It was a friend's second marriage, and it's actually covered with Swiss amaretto mocha buttercream and some Swiss dotting. It was very elegant. This was I made this for a bridal shower. It was actually the shoe on top, the stiletto heel, and the purse were replica of the invitation. And the cupcake tower that it's sitting on, I actually constructed that from scratch. This was a very simple but elegant cake. I actually made this cake in one of the classes I took at the Institute of Culinary Education. It's yellow cake filled with Swiss amaretto mocha, and then we used a hot blade technique to smooth it out, put some classic shells around it, and then the rose decoration was made out of modeling chocolate that we made from scratch and handmade with the rose, the bow, and the streamers. This was a nice cake. I actually was for my dentist. His dad is for his dad's 70th birthday. He is a photographer, avid photographer. So I had one of his favorite pictures transferred onto an edible print, made a frame out of fondant. The camera is the same camera that he owns. Made that out of cereal treats and decorated and covered it with fondant. And then the bag in the background there is the actual cake, and it was actually replicating a camera bag. Beer mug I made for one of my coworkers. It was her sister's birthday, so she asked me, "Can you make a cake that looks like a beer mug?" I said, "Sure." So it's some 8-inch rounds stacked up. I covered it with fondant, did some brushed on some color, and then I hit it with some pearl airbrushing to give it that wet look, like a sweaty look of a beer mug, and the top of the foam is actually piped on buttercream. This has to be, this last cake I'm describing to you is, it was for my friend's 50th birthday. She's a big Aerosmith and Disney fan, so it was actually my first attempt to do molding, sculpting with modeling chocolate. So I got the wire frame made the skeleton for Joe Perry and Mickey Mouse. Then I covered it with the modeling chocolate and made it, trimmed it in and made it all look replicate them. Then I hand painted it. Actually, then I cut out the Aerosmith wings, hand painted, and also made a guitar out of fondant. Added some strings on there, and I added lighting to it too. And it was very exotic, and it also played music. I put speakers, and I had all Aerosmith and Disney music piped in for the